So Kendra G went to Essence Festival, tried to debate I Am Truth Hurts on dating, and got cooked to within an inch of her life. And she was so upset about it that later on she went online to a post that was made and attacked this man in the comments directly. For whatever reason, people are still listening to Kendra G when it comes to dating and relationships. This woman clearly has no idea what she's talking about, and she has no results to show that she's right about anything. She said the same thing about Kevin Samuels, but now, for some reason, she feels that it doesn't apply to her. And she always gets the women all riled up with her anti-male, misandrous viewpoints and nonsense. But I Am Truth Hurts put belt to ass in this debate. Please believe he put all of her nonsensical talking points to rest and had her basically babbling in circles. It was a beautiful thing to watch and really quite long overdue. Kendra G always goes on her show and just talks to the birds that are in her comments and doesn't really debate anybody of substance. It was exposed in this debate that Kendra G just recites a bunch of misandrous talking points and doesn't really have the mental capacity to debate these complex issues whatsoever. She got washed and she was really, really upset about it.
So what would you guys say is the biggest misconception people have about dating today?
I think that we have unlimited options. Here's the deal. If you want something fun, you have unlimited options. But if you're thinking about something serious long-term, a person that if you're in the hospital tomorrow and they're showing up and you can't walk, how many people are on that list? That's not a long list. So I think we have the misconception that we just have so many options to choose from.
I'm in agreement, right? I think that a lot of women get the false belief that they have options that they actually don't.
The entire debate was pretty interesting, but this particular part where she was asked about what would you say when asked what is the biggest misconception about dating, that's where it got spicy to me. Actually, they started off in agreement, and then Kendra predictably tried to demonize men and make misconceptions in dating about women's money. That's when he cooked her.
I think that a lot of women have a phone full of erections, pregnancy scares, but they don't have the options. Options to me is a roster full of men that want to marry you, court you, and treat you properly. I think one of the biggest problems with dating is they require things that they cannot provide for themselves as well.
But you know what? Sometimes women do provide what they're asking for, but that could be a challenge too, because we'll get women that literally do make $300,000, literally does have her own home. So now that's her requirement for a man. And then as a man, sometimes that man that matches her wage doesn't always select her in a romantic way.
I know this about a lot of women that have their own money, right? There's a chapter in my book called It's True Accountability, right? And there's a chapter called She is Successful, She's Sexy, but She's Single.
Yes.
And the issue with a lot of these women is they expect for a man to come in and just get with their program, and it doesn't work like that. For a woman that wants a high value man, a lot of those women are going to confuse leadership with control. He's going to come in and provide structure, and a lot of self-sufficient women refuse to acclimate when a man comes in that house and provides leadership.
For those that are paying attention, the ass whooping has already commenced. This is why you don't debate somebody when you are clearly of an inferior intellect. It's gonna go left. Kendra G is just talking about money. The man said that oftentimes in relationships, people, not women, people, ask for things that they can't provide for themselves. He could be talking about stability. He could be talking about emotional maturity. He could be talking about a peaceful household. But Kendra G's little mind went directly to money. And she starts talking about all the women that's making $300,000 a year. First of all, the overwhelming majority of women are making nowhere near that amount of money. Let's just call it down the middle. The average median income for a black woman is $48,000 a year. Stop the cap. All right? It is what it is. For those sisters that are making that, great. But let's stop using these grandiose amounts of money and acting like that is the rule and not the exception when we're talking about women and their money and relationships. It's just dumb. And she sounds like a moron right now. He is cooking her ass to a crisp. He also talked about women having real options is having a pool of men that want to court you, marry you, and treat you properly. Kendra G never makes any mention of this because Kendra G doesn't even believe in marriage. So what are we listening to her for to begin with? Additionally, his strongest point was that women who are self-sufficient confuse men providing structure in their lives with control. And that right there is the one that is the most damning to most modern women. because they're always babbling about how they want a man to come into their lives and take a leadership role until a man steps up in their lives and takes a leadership role and there's not enough women to handle it. What are we talking about here? Belt to ass. Belt to ass.
Can I speak to that? I know you
Yes,
got a
you
list.
know. No, you
So,
can.
but let's define high value, because I don't like the term high value, because usually high value is predicated on money, access, looks. I like the word high demand, because high demand, yes, the man with the money, the looks is desired by a lot of women. But when we say value, that's an individual thing. It goes back to what I just said a second ago. Value to me is the person that shows up for you. So you could know a rich man, he could be fine, but does he show up for you? He's actually a no value man, if you think about it that way. So we gotta rewrite this high value slogan, because that's the misconception, and that's why men are walking around with an S on their chest, because they feel like they got the money, they got the fame, they got the looks. But ladies, that's our fault, because we made them that way. We got to take that power back. If a person doesn't show up for you, that's a no value human.
May I speak to that for 1 second, if you don't mind?
Truth though,
We gonna have to move on.
Okay.
We're gonna move on to the next question, y'all.
What Kendra G said is probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard Kendra G say, and that's saying a lot. Kendra G just said that she doesn't like the term high value man because, you know, that relates back to money and looks or whatever. And then she talks about how a high demand man relates back to money and looks. Basically, it's the same thing, and that value is talking about what the person has and not whether or not they're going to show up for you. When she's attempting to make her high value man counterpoint, she's just kind of babbling. She don't really know what she's talking about, but she's trying to speak really fast to confuse the listener. At the end of the day, Kendra G just got a problem with Kevin Samuels because Kevin Samuels checked her and put her in her place. That's the long and short of it. Additionally, everything this woman has in the dating realm, she basically downloaded from Kevin Samuels. So that's the problem that she has with Kevin Samuels. She doesn't want to use his terms. But the term high value is valid. You cannot quantify how romantic a person is with you. You cannot quantify how a person shows up for you. And just because a person is a high value man does not mean that they will not show up for you. That's something that Kendra G made up, because as usual, she has no idea what she's talking about and she's out of her depth. Yet she's still babbling. Let's continue.
I would not encourage a woman to ever sleep with every man that she comes in contact with, right? We would hope that she would be selective.
Okay.
But also, I feel like a lot of women are prisoners, right, to this standard of, if I sleep with a man, I'm a hoe and I'm gonna be judged. And this is how these women become imprisoned, right, and just existing and not living. And that's the problem with a lot of these women. They get out here and they're trying to date strategically, and using your brain to date never work. It's emotion. It's meant to be felt. And so for me, right, I would tell these women, you got to get out here and live your life and let everything just sort out the way it's going to sort out.
Yeah, and live your life and remember that you're a queen and everybody doesn't deserve access to your body.
You can't be a queen without a kingdom, though. We got to be real, though.
No, you could be, there's kings without, first of all, you could be a queen without a king.
How?
Absolutely. So are you saying, can you be a king without a queen?
No, you can be a king. No, you can be a king without a queen, but you can't be a king without a kingdom. You don't come from royalty.
Well, okay, outside of that, let's just go to the part, because I don't want to miss this part because it's very serious. The sexual act is what is, I believe, hurting a lot of women, because most women are not mature enough to have sex and just walk away like it was nothing. A lot of times when women allow a man into their body, they now want the dream. Like, we slept together, you're my husband, we're building a house, and he probably isn't worth any of that. So I'm just gonna disagree. I definitely agree with date as many men as possible, but keep your legs tight.
Did you hear what she just said?
They now want the dream. Like, we slept together, you're my husband, we're building a house, and he probably isn't worth any of that.
When a woman has sex with a man, oh, I love him, he's my husband, oh God, I want to move in with him and build a life around him, and he probably isn't worth any of that. What are you basing that on, Kendra? That he probably isn't worth any of that, other than your own misandry. I'm not sure why it is that dudes even go to her platform and listen to her. Like, the hatred is so thick you can cut it with a knife. This woman needs to go somewhere and heal. She needs to be on some psychotherapist's couch getting intensive therapy. And not no damn Cheyenne Bryant, a real psychotherapist. Because this is not normal. Where did that come from? This part right here wasn't really strong on behalf of either of them. He's talking about how a woman should be kind of free and she needs to get out there, and he would hope she would be selective and just not sleep with anybody. But he said before this that he believes that women should not date one person at a time, and that's the dumbest thing they can do. That's the dumbest thing that he said, because no, that's not how that works. And you're going to end up getting labeled a hoe, just like he just said. She said that the problem is that a woman is not mature enough. Listen to the word choice and how this woman thinks. A woman is not mature enough to have sex and just walk away.
Most women are not mature enough to have sex and just walk away like it was nothing.
That's a mature attribute? This woman something's wrong with her. To think that maturity is the attribute that exists when you can just have sex and just walk away from it. That's maturity? Again, it proves that she just doesn't know what she's talking about and she's out of her depth. Let's continue.
Who believes the person who asked for the date should pay?
But what if the woman asked for the date?
She should pay.
No, she should not.
Yes,
No,
she should.
not.
She absolutely
No.
should.
Hold on. A woman, listen, if it don't gotta be an expensive date. It doesn't have to be an expensive date, okay? You can go to somewhere. I believe you could go to Dunkin' Donuts and have a conversation.
So why can't you pay?
But I feel like if a man wants you to pull out your pocket on the first date, to me, that's very telling. And I don't think a man that really wants to court a woman, because men take pride in being providers. So I'm not saying if a woman makes the gesture like, hey, are you free for lunch? Okay, go to lunch. Go to Applebee's. It could be $20. But no, I don't believe a woman, not the first date. Now, when you're in a relationship, you're going to probably pay. Y'all in a partnership. But that first date, no, the man should pay.
We got any female bosses in the audience? Any females that got their bag right in the audience?
Baby,
And Kendra, I'm speaking to the audience, man.
Okay, but go ahead.
And for the female bosses in the audience, it ain't about nothing if I want to take you to Dunkin' Donuts. It ain't about nothing if I want to take you to Applebee's, because big girls play by a different set of rules. I wanted to take him out, and I did it. And it's not about anything.
Does that close the deal?
In what way?
If the woman wants something long term, her paying for the date, does the deal close? Like, does she end up being in something serious, long term, like all of that?
I'm going to be honest. I think it would set her apart. I think it would make her stand out. I think it would make me say, oh, my goodness, I'm appreciated for once. I paid for the last 9,000 dates. Somebody thought enough of me to get me some munchkins from Dunkin' Donuts. Thank you. Thank you. She might get married.
But this goes back to what you just said a second ago, that so many women are so scorned because they have done that, right? There's a lot of women that have paid for first dates, paid for trips, paid for a lot of things when it came to a man, and then you see him with another woman and you're like, I invested all this money into this guy. I think if a man is serious about you, he's going to be okay with spending $30 on a breakfast date. And if he can't spend $30 on a breakfast date, I don't think he's the one.
Damn it, he cooked her ass again. And this is where these modern women show you how full of shit they are. Kendra G is always talking about her money. Kendra G try to outman the men with her deep ass voice. She tried to be as mannish as possible. And when it comes to something as simple as paying for a first date that she asked for, in this scenario, the woman asked for the first date. She's supposedly so evolved and so modern, but yet and still, the man has to pay for the date. Why? I'm of the presence of mind that the man should pay for the first date, but by her logic, what he's saying makes perfect sense. You understand? And it's irritating little goofy ass things like this that got a lot of y'all females single. You have the same dumbass Kendra G mentality and nobody's taking you seriously because of it. Please stop listening to this goofy ass woman. She knows nothing about anything and has no results that are positive whatsoever in her life. No wins, no results, nothing. Just babble. This type of thing is what keeps women single. You get in your group chats and y'all start babbling and you start making an issue of these tiny insignificant things that mean nothing, and all of a sudden you're Kendra G's age with no man, because that's all she has to show you for all this babble she keeps giving you. The fact that she old as hell and still ain't got nobody. This is the primary reason why men see women like Kendra and run. That was the most idiotic explanation for anything that I've heard in a very long time. The bitch Gossip posted talking about how she got cooked in the debate, and just look at the comments. Oh, and Kendra G gets her little musty ass in the comments and start attacking this man personally. Listen to the vitriol and hood rattery in these comments. You cannot make this stuff up. First comment. The caption is a whole made-up story. Like, Do you think people are deaf? How much he pay y'all to post and say those lies? So she's making up in her head that he paid these people to make this post and say that she got cooked. Like, is there any proof of this? Why are we assuming that he paid them to post this? Maybe they just posted it because everybody else was saying that before the post was made. Everybody saw Kendra get her ass handed to her. So why gotta be all that? All right, if that wasn't enough, must have really bothered her because she came back a couple more times. It's crazy how this man is trying to build his image back up off me. Okay, the man literally offered me money years ago to teach him how to do what I do. Don't have my do this to you, my boy. Okay, he got what Essence paid me in gas money to be on that stage next to me. I'm going to start humbling these men with receipts because I'm really not the one. This is not necessary. You don't know that this man paid anyone anything. And you did get your ass handed to you. He made you look stupid. You did enough of a good job looking stupid on your own, but when it got to the point where it was contentious and y'all were going back and forth, he lit your ass up. And the host cut him off twice, and he still lit your ass up. So no, you lost. You lost convincingly. And you such a sore loser that you gotta go on social media in front of the world and personally attack this man without any proof that he even did what you're accusing him of doing. Do you know how unhinged and goofy you have to be to do something like this? We don't call women losers enough. This is clown shit. Next post. Yo, you so desperate to get followers for your backup page that you now paying for posts with me in it? And she adds him, Truth Hurts official backup. Let's state some real facts. Backstage, the first thing you said when you saw me was thank you for putting me on my first platform. You said that, not me. Second, asked me how to reach someone at Meta to help you get your page back. Now you paying for posts with me in it. Yo, you 2026 men are the weakest men ever created. A whole goofy. You debated somebody, the people's interpretation is that you lost. Take your musty ass home, read up on some statistics, learn some shit, put some shit in your head so that you can talk next time about relationships without sounding like a goddamn imbecile, and maybe next time you'll do better. But you got washed, and that's okay. You understand what I'm saying? You're supposed to learn from it, pick yourself up by your bootstraps, and do better next time. Since you're always talking about your money and your masculine qualities, be a man and shut the fuck up. Anyway, that's what I think. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell so that you know when we go live. Major Gauge Podcast, we lit. All right.
Major Gauge Podcast. Like, comment, and subscribe.